How's it going? It's me, Mr. Cass, and welcome to Bloodhound, the technological tracker beginner guide.
The place between life and death is where I feel most alive.
Bloodhound is known across the Outlands as one of the greatest game hunters the Frontier has ever seen. And that's about all anyone knows. From his age, his name, his homeworld, and even his gender, we don't really know much about Bloodhound. But what I do know is Bloodhound is in a class of his own. He's more like a utility class compared to the attack and support classes in Apex Legends. Bloodhound is the utility legend of Apex Legends right now because he has 3 abilities that allow him to track people, starting with his passive ability, Tracker. Tracker is an ability that allows you to track your enemy footsteps. So if you take a look at the screen here on the middle right, you'll see some footsteps that have a white outline around them. What this basically means is someone was actually here a little while ago, not too recent, but someone was indeed in front of me, and we are going to trail them in this clip. So as we push this fight, you'll see that outline I was talking about turn bright red, which is going to indicate that enemy player was there very recently. And this goes from showing if the player is bleeding, open crates, if a player uses zipline. It pretty much shows everything that a player can interact with, and it shows that if they were there recently or not so recently. So for Bloodhound's next ability, we have his tactical ability, Eye of the Allfather, which is an ability that allows him to see in every direction if there's any nearby enemies or traps. So here in this clip, after we take down Fat Man Gibraltar, you're going to see me use this ability, and I'm going to pause it for a second, and you're going to see an outline of a Wraith crouching in the middle of a Gibraltar bubble because she's very low and she's hiding. The thing you need to know about this ability is that Eye of the Allfather only shows where they currently were when you use that ability. So as you can see in this clip, we end up playing Ring Around the Rosie and she ends up bamboozling us, but we end up killing her later. But just keep in mind, if you're a lot closer when you use this ability, that it can kind of throw you off sometimes because it will show you an outline of them and then they will be somewhere else very quickly without you expecting it. My best recommended use for Eye of the Allfather is basically when you're in an enclosed area like a city or somewhere that's obstructing your view, not somewhere out in the open unless there's like, you know, a rock or something like that, you can't see them, but just use it when you're in kind of enclosed areas because it makes it a heck of a lot easier to find people and you're not wasting your ability. And lastly, we're going to talk about Bloodhound's final ability, Beast of the Hunt, which in my opinion is probably one of the strongest ultimates in the game currently. And it's just OP, and I think they could nerf it a little bit, but we'll get into it. So Bloodhound's ultimate ability allows you to basically turn into a Super Saiyan for 35 seconds. And what I mean by this is the screen will turn gray and enemies will be outlined in red and you'll be able to move significantly faster. It's a really good ultimate, and if you use it in the right situations, unlike where I do, where I'm not able to get any kills but I'm able to escape, you can pull off a lot of kills and get up in a lot of people's faces and destroy people. Like I said, I do think this ultimate is OP because I think 35 seconds is a long time, but my suggested use for this ultimate is to basically make sure you use it going into a fight because it does take a long time to queue up the ultimate. It takes like a second or two just to use it. So in terms of playstyle and weapons for Bloodhound, basically you can rock anything on this guy. I feel like if you want to go close range or long range, because his ultimate works from short and long range, and you can actually see footsteps if you zoom in from long range. The thing is with Bloodhound, he doesn't have very much mobility unless it's his ultimate. So unlike Bangalore, Wraith, and then the new Legend Octane, he doesn't really have any outs. So I really feel like Bloodhound is a legend that you really have to focus on positioning, or else you're going to get punished. So one thing I suggest with Bloodhound just starting out is when you're just traversing the map, just always think of a way to get out of a sticky situation or just the closest cover you can get to, because there's just too many times I've seen teams where it's happened to me. You just get caught out in the open by another team, you have nowhere to hide, and you're pretty much screwed over. So just be always thinking about an exit strategy and a strategy where you're going to be able to do damage to one or two players without receiving damage. And also there's those times you just get caught and you just have to rely your aim and skill to win the fight. So you have to know when to differentiate between those two, especially with Bloodhound, because you can't just run away like Wraith or Bangalore and the other legends that have those mobility options. So lastly in this video we're going to talk about team composition, and I'm a theory crafter and I basically am always thinking of the best composition or the best amount of damage you can do in a video game. But in my opinion, I think the most solid composition with Bloodhound would be Bangalore and Lifeline, just because Bangalore has smokes that she can shoot, and if you use your ultimate, it's like having a digital threat for a long time in that smoke, and you can really destroy teams if you coordinate with the Bangalore over comms. And Lifeline, she's just such a good legend that she always has something to bring to every composition. Also, if you're like kind of wanting to go like all in compositions, like you could do Octane, Bloodhound, Wraith, Bangalore, whatever, just pop is all, Octane runs in, you can just go crazy and then just give all the accelerants to Bloodhound. So there's just multiple ways you can do it, but I think that's the best composition is the Lifeline, Bangalore, and Bloodhound. So that's pretty much all I have for this Bloodhound beginner's guide for Apex Legends. If you guys liked what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe to the video and click the notification bell so that way you get the alerts for when I post my next video. Also, if you have additional feedback, like additional beginner tips and etc. with Bloodhound, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. God bless you.